Alright, YouTube, it's been a little bit since I've done a video here. The one thing I want to say is for everyone that viewed my Cleveland and how to tell the differences from a 351 Cleveland to 302 Windsor, 351 Windsor. Thank you. Never really thought a video I would make would hit a little over 1,000 likes now. So this is a shop update because I'm getting close to winter, and I do take this Mustang off the road to do some work for it. So one of the things that's holding it up is that I'm in the process of restoring this International Harvester tractor. It was the first thing I ever bought as a kid. It's pretty important, special to me. I ironically got it back in life, so I've always had a fondness towards these. They've kind of turned into collector items, so I might do like a video on it like now, you know what I mean? The other parts are up above my garage, and the transmission's down at my other buddy's garage where we're putting together the transmission. So I might do a video on the transmission and like maybe one or two on that. But that is going to take up my time for the next probably month or so. So Mustang update, plans for this winter, videos I'm going to do. For people who have questions, I've not been really good at getting back to the few comments I had, but ask questions, I will get back to it. If you want me to do like a time lapse, explain things a little bit more, whatever, like I'm here to give back to YouTube, because I'll tell you what, YouTube has got me out of quite a few jams. So these are leaf springs. They're going to go on this by 73 Mustang. These are, I live like 45 minutes from CJ Pony Parts, so almost all my stuff I get is from CJ. So those are 1-inch drop springs. So I'm going to do leaf springs this winter. I'm waiting for the rear sway bar because we're going to add a rear sway bar on this because this did not come factory with a rear sway bar. In here I have a heater core to do this winter. We have a blower motor, U-bolts for your leaf springs, shackles. These are pads for your heater core, and there's heater box clips here as well for the heater box. So the plan, because I don't have all the parts for this winter, is to do the leaf springs, the heater core, the blower motor. We're going to install new seats in this, because for one, I don't really care for these seats, and there's rear seat covers that'll wrap into that. This floor pan is shot, not bad, but it does have one little rust hole in it, and there's a bunch of surface rust on it. This quarter window leaked before I redid the weather stripping last winter, before I got the car, so there's some surface rust on there. So I'm literally going to rip the whole interior out, the floor out, check all the floor pans, do the heater core, blower motor, fix some things on the heater box. I'm probably going to have to re-gasket it. I can't really, I'm sure you can find the gasket kit on eBay, but I'm just going to use like 3M adhesive for the gasket kit. And I already said the rear lift springs, sway bars. I'm going to recoat the underneath of the frame. The other plan is, outside of doing the floor pans and the seats, is I'm going to get QA1 front adjustable shocks for the Mustang and a 1 1/8 inch front sway bar, and put that in as well, and that should really stiffen up the suspension to where I want it to. This whole car, I'm going to eventually build the whole thing. Now, I know for the people that viewed my 351 video, I would love nothing more than to have endless amounts of money and be able to build this motor and do YouTube videos all day, and throw this in the car, and I'm going to eventually put a T5 and do a T5 swap in this as well. But unfortunately, world doesn't work that way for me. Building cars are expensive. But the update I have on this is I did finally come to a plan of what I want to do with this. So outside of what I want to do this winter, I'm legitimately doing the whole car. As you can see here, where the roof seam is, whoever had it before me bondoed it and did not do a great job. So, and not this quarter, but the other quarter is a little messed up, and the trunk pan's not too bad, but it does have little rust holes around where the filling rack went when I replaced the fuel tank. So, without boring you, my plan is to restore the whole entire car. I'm very proficient with motors, transmissions, because I do plan to do a transmission video too this winter on doing shifter seals. That's an FMX, but FMX C4s, C6s are very similar in how they were designed. So that is also the plan. But I've never done body work before. I've never welded floor pans. So the plan is to weld in some floor pans. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to make mistakes. And I'm probably going to drive this car for another year. And then after that year, when I move my location into my actual garage, because I rent this garage, I will start literally stripping the car down. And essentially just start sanding, seeing what needs to be replaced. The back half of the car I know has some rust on it. I mean, whoever did the car before, you can see there's, a run here and a few other blemishes. But, my thing is I'm never going to learn unless I do it. And I always wanted to say I did this car myself. So for the people who are curious, want to watch, legitimately this car will be built pretty much from the ground up. Now there's some things I've already done. Like I said, this winter will be the suspension, new seats, because those seats are hideous, and the driver's seat doesn't work. I bought it that way and I should have got it fixed. But then after that, it'll go into legitimately sanding the car down, seeing where and what imperfections are, because you can already tell you on this seam, it was filled with Bondo as well. Welding a piece of metal in here, Bondoing it, blending it, seeing if I need to do just a half quarter from here down, or if the whole quarter shot, which it doesn't look like it looking in on the trunk or the wheel wells. So without boring you by going into all kinds of detail, I'm essentially going to try to restore this whole car. With that being said, I'm not a body expert at all, nor am I a welding expert. So this is legitimately, I'm going to make some mistakes. So if I can make some mistakes to then help you not make mistakes, I think I've done a pretty good job. So if you love 73 Mustangs or Mustangs in general or classic cars, now this is obviously not a Chevy or a Dodge, but bodywork is bodywork. Now, most of everything, like I said, body panel wise, parts wise, I will get from CJ Pony Parts, including the T5 conversion kit. The ultimate plan for this is I do not want this to be no 1,000 horsepower drag car. 4.8 stroker. It's a pretty basic build for these. Not really sure what heads, if I want to go with the 3V heads, which is a mixture between 2V, 4V. I did a whole video on the differences between heads if you want any more information on Cleveland. I by no means am an expert, but I do know some about them. So I'd like a 4.8 stroker, pretty good cam, pretty good intake. Kind of want to figure out what RPM range I want to run it at, and that's going to go with what intake I run, because the different high rises only really make power in the way upper RPMs. So if you're just cruising it on the highway, you don't really need a high rise and a lopey cam that's going to snap your neck every time you pull out, because those are strictly for high RPM usage. So whenever this is all done, body-wise, Painless Performance makes a wiring harness, converts all the glass tube fuses over to your modern fuses. That's one of the goals, to do that. spruce up a few other things left on the interior, the headliner, and then move on to swapping the rear gears in this to 373s, most likely with the 5-speed. Doing the T5 swap, and then eventually finishing up to Cleveland and putting that in, and I don't know what I'll do with the 302 in here. So if you do like this kind of stuff, I again am not an expert. I have done a boat motor. I'm restoring a tractor. I will eventually also, paired with this, I'll be doing a Dodge Stealth RT Twin Turbo. That's one of my other cars. We'll be doing a full motor build on that sometime in life as well. So if you like this stuff, you're welcome to watch these videos. If you have questions, that's fine. If you have comments or advice for myself as I'm going along in this build, I will gladly take it, because like I said, I am no body expert. I do know some people who are in the body field and things of that nature, but if you really want to watch a guy who is a do-it-yourself guy, because I'm going to say that most of the people that view this stuff is a do-it-yourself guy, then, you know, this is your kind of channel. So at the end of the day, if you're just a guy who has a garage and you're looking to do a suspension on your Mustang, you can pull up one of my videos and show you suspension on the Mustang, or bodywork, or those seam repairs. And how I'm doing it, I'm not saying is the best way to do things, but I'm going to experiment. I'm going to make some mistakes, but if me making mistakes help you not make mistakes, then I did my job. If I can build this car, anyone can build a car, you know, because I have no background in auto body. Now, this is not going to be a SEMA show quality car. I do have a plan of putting in a paint booth, but I'm going to kind of build my own paint booth because I have some carpentry background. And kind of try to do it on a budget, because honestly, to get this car done with all the welding, the labor, the parts required, I mean, gee, it'd be like 15 grand. And that's lowballing it. And that's for a reputable body shop to do everything. Or I can do it myself, you know, rip my hair out sometimes, make some mistakes, but by doing it, I will become a better welder. I'll have a better understanding. And when I go to do my Stealth, I'll feel twice as good doing that car. So if you are a do-it-yourself guy, then watch this, you know, and if it helps you, that's fine. If you want me to go over things more or do time-lapse videos, because like when I do this, I don't want to keep this video too much longer, but when I do the leaf springs, my plan is to drop the leaf springs out. Then I will do a video on how I drop the leaf springs out. The bolts, how I got them out. I'm probably going to soak them in PB Blaster for 3 days. They might need heat. You know, how I went about that. I'm going to like redo the differential, paint it, put the new leaf springs in, throw that back in. I'll do a video on how I put the rear sway bar on. You can either bolt them in or weld them on, because again, 73 Mustangs do not come stock with it. So I can do a time lapse. I'll have to get the stuff to do it, the camera and whatnot, a GoPro, but I can also do that. I'm not a big fan of time lapses, because it's basically you just watching me go in extremely fast motion tearing something apart. Not really explaining, hey, when I did this, you know, the bolt stuck in that bushing and I had to torch it out and beat it out with a hammer. But if I would have done this differently, it probably would have came out better. So that's the way I do it. So that is a shop update. Gonna do like a video tour on this International Cub Cadet. I know there's some people who restore these tractors. So I'm just gonna throw a video out there to, you know, try to help them if they're in the process of restoring these, where I went to go get parts, because parts are getting hard to find for these. So are those decks. FYI, if you have a deck, hang on to it. They're very, very valuable, believe it or not. Along with the original International plow, which I found from a gentleman. So that is the shop update. Tractor, then the rear end of the car, leaf springs, rear sway bar, QA1 shocks, front sway bar. I do have stuff to do disc brakes. Don't know if I'll get to it this winter. Then floor pans, seats, rear seat covers, and that'll probably be it for the winter project on this. And I'll also be doing a video on winterizing my boat for boat owners who might be wanting to winterize their own boat. So thank you again. The Cleveland video really blew me away. I know there's people that get 500,000 views, but the fact that my Cleveland video got 1,000 views is amazing, because I did not think it would get 1,000 views, because 351 Clevelands are unfortunately getting rarer, and I did not think there was that large of a following. So I appreciate the people who've literally listened to me just talk, but I love these cars. I love cars in general. This is my therapy, and I literally taught myself how to do some of these things. So if I can do it and pass on my knowledge, anyone else can do it. So again, any questions, leave it in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to you. I've done a really crappy job of doing it. I'm happy to help in any way. I don't really care if you subscribe or not. That's your choice. I don't really put too many videos out in the summer, but we will be doing some videos in the winter. So thank you again. And for the people who do watch the videos, if you'd rather have me like show my face and talk instead of just walking around the garage showing you shots of my random garage stuff and talking, I can do that too. I'm not a professional videographer. I don't edit my stuff or anything like that. But hey, anything to help you with the viewing experience, I'm more than grateful to do with the means in which I have to do it. So any questions, comments, things, videos you would like me to do, if you have questions on things or want me to do a video on like problems with 73 Mustangs, I'm happy to do that. I know these cars pretty well. Like I said, I'm no expert, but I'm a do-it-yourself guy. So if you're a do-it-yourself guy too, then hey, I hope you can find something out. So I appreciate all the views. Thank you very much. I'll be trying to get some videos out here after I get this done. Goal is at the end of October to start this and get rocking and rolling on this. So appreciate the views. Thank you, YouTube.